Welcome to the 45th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome to the returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're glad you could be here. Today's adventure takes us to Alden, Michigan, and also Mackinaw, Michigan, which I'm excited to share with you. It was quite the adventure, and but before we begin, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
So May is wearing an Anguli cowl. This is one of her favorites.
And now I've worn this before in other podcasts, but
Yes.
I really like it. It's my go-to.
Yep, and it's by Hilary Smith Callis, and I used the two colors, so navy and white of Berroco Comfort Sock. And you say you like it because it's very, very soft.
It's
that
very
yarn.
soft. It fits nice. It's snug. It's warm for the winter.
And it's easy to wash, and I like that too because it's right and nice and easy to take care of. And for me, I am wearing the Ollivander shawl by K.F. Jones of the Bakery Bears. And the yarn that I've used is two colors of Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock. And so the gray is called Slate, and this is called Daybreak.
And you've never worn this one before?
I think I have worn it.
It looks different. Maybe it's the pin.
I think it is. So I have Shawl Cuff by Knox Mountain Knit Co. And this is a large enough shawl that when I wrap it around, because it almost has to go 3 times around, that it holds it in place. And I like that it takes care of it and it makes that pop on
it just changes the look up a little bit with that cuff on there. Looks great.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with that. And next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object, and May and I have been discussing whether or not it's actually a finished object. I'm pretty sure we did it as a work in progress, but it is the Wise Hilda Basic Rib Sock, and that's by Kate Atherley. Now, I've done a couple of pairs of these. It's a great pattern, and I really like it. The yarn that I used in this case is one of these kits. It's Uneek Sock, hand-dyed self-striping matching sock kit, and that's by Urth Yarns. And I matched them up pretty well.
They turned out great. How was it to match those up?
Well, they came in 2 50-gram balls.
Okay.
So as long as you were careful to kind of count it out as you started. And I
think they were a perfect match.
Yep, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't have very big feet, and I'm not very tall. So I had quite a little bit left. But we've talked about sometimes I'm going to use those to make either little stockings for next Christmas or do something like that.
They're nice and soft.
Yeah, I really, really like how they came out.
Yeah.
And it's neat how the color changes. And there's all different kinds. So if you think you'd like to try one of these, if you've never tried 2 at a time socks, that's a great thing to do.
Okay.
All right, so I'm really happy with those.
Nice.
My next finished object is called the Thankful Shawl, and that's by Abby Arner. And the reason why I chose this, and I had Shirley Bryan yarn, and it's called Wandering Worsted. And I found this pattern because I had 2 skeins of this yarn, and I wanted something that was going to work in those. So I am absolutely thrilled, and the joy of blocking. Sorry, May, I'm trying to just make sure I get the right side out. This is the right side out. So this yarn is amazing, and it blocked beautifully. I am thrilled with that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the texture on this, and that's the nice things. Lots of times I'll grab color yarn or variegated yarn, but this one I had grabbed, these 2 skeins I'd grabbed because I really liked the gray that it was. It's kind of a bluey gray. And the texture of this shawl, so if you're ever wanting to do something, you've got 2 skeins of worsted weight yarn. It really is
a good project.
It's a
for
great
somebody.
pattern as well.
Easy to do.
Yeah, and you actually can, basically use up most of your yarn.
Nice.
I had hardly any left, so
And
I was
now,
really
have you
pleased.
worn this at all? Or
I
no?
have not.
Oh, well, there you
That
go.
one I think is one of those ones where a shawl cuff would be helpful because it's
Nice.
pretty big. All right, the next one is called the Easy Goes It shawl, and that's by Finicky Creations, and Michelle Higgins is the name. And this is the pattern that we got when we were at a Piece of View. So they have Mountain Colors Twizzlefoot that's dyed especially for them. And this is Tall Ships 2019. So if you'd seen it skeined up, I think you will have seen it in a previous episode.
We saw this in your last episode was a work in progress.
Exactly.
And it did
I'm just turning
totally
it around
look
for
like a tall ship colors would be.
Exactly.
For some reason. I don't know how that happens, but
So
this is beautiful. I love the weight of
lace
this.
just opens up. I am so glad that I have started blocking things because it just changes the fabric a little bit, and I am thrilled about this.
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
love the
really
weight of
happy
the
with it.
lighter yarn.
And I really like, a piece of you had this knit up, actually this pattern with this yarn, and I don't think I would have realized what it would have looked up. Yeah, at all. So
Yeah.
when it was knit up. So I'm really, really
Yeah, it
happy
didn't
with
look
that.
like the skein at all.
No.
But it knit up different.
And the
It's
colors
nice.
are pretty. It's really, really nice. So I
Yeah.
like that one as well. And my last one.
You've been very busy.
I have been busy. My last finished object is the Up the Creek Mystery Knit Along. Well, it's not so much of a mystery anymore. And that's by Cozy Up, of the Cozy Up Knits designers and podcasters. And it was a mystery. And so you kind of knit all these pieces and put it together.
Now, was there a draw with the mystery knit along, or is it just knit along?
There was a draw.
Oh, did you win anything?
I didn't win anything, but that's okay. Like it's okay.
It's okay. You don't need to win anything.
No, I was just happy to do the whole thing.
And this is the whole shebang.
And I
And
think
you got the little tassels
somewhere
here. Look at
there's a
that.
stitch marker. I heard it drag across, but I don't see it. So we're okay. So let's see if we can just kind of drag it across.
Okay.
So I have only put 2 tassels on. So I put a tassel on there, and then the pieces all knit together and sewed them together.
This looks like a lot of work.
It was a lot of fun, I have to tell you. And there's the other tassel.
Look at all the lace work kind of thing here.
I know.
Going
It's
on. And
so
then-
much fun. I
No, no,
learned a
this
lot
look-
of things.
What do you call that? It looks
That is fisherman's rib.
We got fisherman's rib. You've got
Different laces. Yes, it was a lot of fun. So ladies, thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed putting that together. It is from Ginger Snap That. It's their Zest Fingering.
Lovely colors, of course. They're purple.
Well, you know, it's kind of what I like.
Yeah.
So those are my finished objects. I had a great time. I've got all these beautiful shawls to wear, and we're getting into some cold weathers pretty soon in the next little week or so, so that's going to be good to wear them. And May, how about yourself? Finished
Well,
objects?
as you know, we're continuing on with my painting because we're still in the Michigan adventure, so that's going to stay up there.
Yeah.
But also, if Colleen wasn't busy enough, I had her. I'm making these little beds, as you know, making these little beds from a dollhouse, 1:12 ratio. I haven't painted this one as yet, but Colleen, I got her to make me some little pillows. How cute is that with the little bedding? I don't know if you can see that in there. And a crocheted little, what do you call that? Something for the bottom bed, just to give it some kind of layers or whatever. But I think it turned out wonderful.
It looks really nice.
Your
I'm
skill,
happy.
the skill set here is amazing. It's like magic. I make the woodwork. You do the little sewing, which is like perfection.
Oh, thank you.
You do a great job. So I'm
Thanks so
looking
much.
forward to Colleen making some more of those little bed things for me.
Exactly.
And then I'm going to start selling those at my little booth that I have, which keeps me very busy. So I haven't had time between doing the woodworking, buying new woodworking tools, going to auctions. I really haven't had a lot of time to do other finished objects. But
It looks really good. Like, you have to
Yeah.
be really proud of yourself because you've done a lot of looking on YouTube and researching the
Right, the
wood
sizes
and
for 1
sizes
to
for what
12,
you need
yeah.
to do. So
Yeah.
it looks really, really good.
yeah, and it turned out not too bad at the back there. Oops, I just dropped a pillow.
okay.
Whoops. We'll get that later. But anyway, good job, and I really appreciate all the work that you've done for
No
me making
problem.
these little pillows
So
and
that's,
everything.
I
So
said to
thank
May, you make the bed, get it all ready for me, and then I'll make
It's going to be fun making these. Is it
Yeah, it
finicky
is.
or is it okay?
You know what? We've got a plan. So
Okay.
yeah, as soon as I have a plan, I can help put it together.
And here's another one that you've put together too. There's this was kind of cool because I'm making like a century dollhouse, and so these will go great. This particular pattern here
There you
will
go.
go great in that dollhouse. So
Yeah.
thanks again, and we'll pick
You're
up those
welcome.
pillows when we're done this.
It's like we're having a pillow fight, but there's no fight. So those are our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. My works in progress are all cowls. You're a fan of cowls. I hadn't knitted you one for a while, so I wanted to do that. And once I got started, I would start another one and then another one. And so I've got 5 cowls to show you. All different patterns, all different kinds
But
of
they're
yarn.
not all for me. Some?
No, 2 out of the 3 are for you.
Perfect.
That's pretty good. That'll work. That's a good
That's a
ratio,
good one.
almost. All right. So let's talk first of all about the first one. And that is called the Candygram Cowl. And this is a free pattern by Tanis Lavallee. She is from Tanis Fiber Arts. So they dye yarn. She and her husband dye yarn. They have the yarn company, but she also is a great designer. And this pattern is quite brilliant because with just a slip stitch here or there, you end up with two different looking cowls in the same cowl. So I am using Patton's Astra. I had bought some of this for you.
For me?
Pink and gray. Well, you had seen
Not
that.
for you, for me.
For you. Pink and gray because you'd seen that
Right.
shawl and it was just going to be too big and it was going to be
Right.
too hard to hack it. So I found this pattern and I think
And we
it's
like
go-
free patterns, don't we?
We do like free patterns. So here's what it looks like. So it looks like I'm just making
nice.
May this lovely striped cowl. It is actually ribbed, so it's going to snug right up. But what I want to show you is on the other side, it looks like it's just dots.
Wow, that's kind of neat. They look like little arrowheads, really.
Exactly.
That's
so
really
it's going to be
nice.
nice. So you get to have the striped and then you can just turn over the top
Wow.
and it's going to look different. So it looks really nice and those colors are going to be brilliant on you.
Yeah, I like pink. I like pink and
Exactly.
it goes well with the gray, so great.
Exactly.
Wow, good job. I can't wait till that's finished.
It's pretty close.
Nice, thank
I don't have
you.
a whole lot of yarn left, so I'm going to just basically use up the yarn. I'll make it as big, and then May will have that lovely
Be nice
cowl.
and warm, thank you.
Exactly. So that's the first one. The second one is the Bits and Bobs cowl by K.F. Jones of the Bakery Bears.
You'll have to tell me which one is mine and which one isn't. Is this a
That
yours?
very first one was
for me.
for you, and the next
This
one
one's
is for me.
you.
So I had a Hugh Loco Advent calendar this year. So there is that. So it was 20 gram skeins, and then I picked up some Harriet Fine. It's baby alpaca blended with nylon.
You like that calendar.
I
advent
did. I
calendar.
loved
The
it.
yarn colors were nice because they kind of asked you, I think, what colors you would have
Exactly.
preferred.
So what colors do you like? What colors do you definitely don't want? So it's great. I've got all kinds of things. So I just chose 5 different ones. I'm not sure I'm going to get the 5th one in because it is getting big very quickly. But
These
this
are like
is,
the mini skein ones, right? Like,
yes.
these are all the-
So this is one of the mini skeins.
not
I think
in a
this
skein,
is
of
sugar
course.
plum.
This is great. It's turning out really nice with all those
So
little mini
this
things.
is the fisherman's rib. You're carrying it double, and going round and round. There's a few things you have to do differently. It is a paid-for pattern, but I love it. It's squishy. The alpaca is going to make this really, really nice and warm.
soft and soft.
And
right?
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do. It's supposed to. You can do 5 20 gram mini skeins, but I'm not sure.
Maybe too much.
It might be too much for me. I'm kind of
Yeah, I
liking
think
this,
this
and
is
by
a
the
good,
time, by the time I finish this one, which is the 4th one, I think it'll be good. But it's all my lovely purples.
It's great that you could blend all those together. I wouldn't have thought that,
Exactly.
but it works.
I know. I'm really, really
Works.
happy with that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I have to get that
Very
off
creative.
the needles because there is a knit along for that. So I have to work on that.
Prizes?
There
One
will
of
be
them?
prizes. I haven't won any, but I
Oh.
have to get my name in. So I have to take some pictures and send it in. So that's that one. So one for me,
One for
me.
you.
Now it's another one for me. So remember, May's all about cashmere.
I was going to say, is
It
there
is.
cashmere in one?
There's cashmere in this. So May is. You're not really a lace person.
No.
No. So let's be honest. She's not a lace person. But sometimes you want to have some texture. So this is called the Dainty Dots Cowl. And that's by Molly Klein Designs.
Because I'm so dainty.
You are so dainty. And this is called String Theory Hand-Dyed
Something about
Yarn
laughing.
Caper Sock. I'm not laughing. I wouldn't laugh at all. There you go. So this is Caper Sock, and it does have 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. But this is
I'll
really
take
softer.
10% cashmere.
We'll
I'll do
take-
that.
Good,
Yes,
because
absolutely.
but this
Beautiful
color is
I love
you.
It.
It is so you.
I love the color.
So this is one of those tonals, and I love
I
the
don't know if you can
colors of
see the
blue.
tonal, and probably can't see that in the camera.
Yeah, and
But it's
once
really
it's
nice.
finished and blocked, I think, because I'm on a 16-inch cord, and I think
Right.
that's why.
Yeah, that'll be great.
But it's just, if you hold it, I'm going to
Wait.
spread this out. So there's the little dots that are going to be beautiful when I block it out. I'm not going to make it super tall for
Right.
you. And then I have bought 2 skeins of this, and so the second one I'm going to use whatever little bits left over and use that, and I put it together in a shawl of some kind for me.
Thank you.
Exactly. I
I'm
think
so
we both
lucky.
deserve
I'm
10%
so lucky.
cashmere.
Absolutely, we deserve it, and then some. We raised 3 boys. We know what that's all about.
Yes, we do. All right, so that was for you, for me, for you, and now another one for me. So when I had made May's Cashmere 30, there was some left. And I just picked up one extra ball, and then I was able to do this. So this is called the Potpourii Cowl.
I want to smell it.
And that's... I don't think there's any... But you know what?
We should do
Lots
that.
of people put lavender sachets in with their knitting so that they're... And I'm going to make myself some, I think.
We should put potpourri in with that one. Forget the lavender.
Anyway, this cowl is great, and you can make it as tall as you want. I'm trying to use up the yarn. I still have a little bit left.
Is potpourri ever still popular, or is it kind of out the window?
I don't know how many people use potpourri anymore. I don't know. But I know we like lavender.
Yes,
so
we love lavender. I
there
would go
we
with
go.
the lavender. This you could put lavender in with.
I
this one,
could. And
because
it's
there's
going to
lavender.
block out beautifully. So this is by Rose Beck.
It's a lovely lavender color.
And I have added some extra rose because it's going to be lovely and squishy. So
Really?
it is 30% cashmere. What do we have in here?
30%, did you say?
I did. So it's 70%.
10 and 30. Like,
Okay, it gets me in trouble all the time.
where's the balance in this?
Because you already had yours with this.
Oh, of course. One's enough. percent. That's all I deserve.
Oh dear. Okay, I don't think I should mention cashmere anymore. In trouble I am. But I think this will be good, and once it's blocked,
Yes,
it'll be great.
you deserve 30%.
Oh, thank you so
You
much.
definitely deserve, because you do a lot of work.
I do,
And
but I
the
like
fact that you're
doing it.
making me those little bedspreads, you deserve 100% cashmere.
I'll get paid in cashmere. What do you think? Sounds good.
That's good.
Okay, I'll get paid in
For
cashmere.
every bedspread you get 10% cashmere.
Oh, even better.
That's a good deal.
All right. There's things that are 100% cashmere. I'm
Oh.
going for it. All right. So the last one is called the Harrison Cowl, and it is by Hayley Scharping. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And May had purchased for Christmas this lovely purple, which is called Aubergine. It's a beautiful color. What a surprise.
I got this at Mary Maxim when they were going out of business.
Yeah.
There's a store here in London. They're moving. They're not even moving. They're just going out of business. They
Right
still have
here.
their Mary Maxim
In Paris,
in
yeah.
Paris, but they weren't doing so well in the London store.
Right.
So when I was shopping and I was going to Starbucks, they had this sale. And I thought Colleen's favorite color is purple. And it was on sale. And then when I saw it, and I know the price that you pay for some of your yarns.
Yes, you do.
So I don't know much about them, but I knew that this wasn't the price that you generally pay for your yarns.
Yeah.
But it felt good.
It does.
And
It feels great.
It's a good yarn still, you know?
Yeah,
Like, it's not
absolutely.
like what expensive.
Absolutely. It's going to be, you know what's
Yeah.
nice about it? It's going to go nice with my black coat, and it's going to be easy to wash and easy to take care of. So I'm happy with it.
I just thought purple and soft. Hey,
There you go. So,
kind of reminding me of you.
oh, there you go. So the white is the Starlet by Mary Maxim.
I didn't buy you the white, correct?
No, I
just
had
bought
some.
purple? Okay.
You actually bought me purple and gray, but I
Oh, okay.
really wanted the contrast in this. And I
I
love,
love
this.
this. It's
cowl.
very thick, you know.
It is. It is slip stitches. It's a beautiful pattern. It's nice to do. If you're thinking about trying some mosaic knitting, this is a good one to try.
Is that what's making it thick? Because the yarn is not that thick, but when you feel this, it's thick. You know? Do you think it's the way the stitches are is making it?
Well, you end up with almost a double layer
Oh, I
of
see.
yarn.
Okay,
Yeah.
that explains
Exactly.
a lot to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm really, really happy with it.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for patterns, you may see it as mosaic knitting or you may see it as slip stitches. It's the same thing. If you're actually doing something like Fair Isle, it's called stranded color work. And it's just a little bit different how you take care of it. But I'm really pleased with this. I'm almost done. It's funny, I think, oh, I'll make a cowl. And then I get
Right.
going and get going. And then I think, oh, I'm almost done the cowl. So
Nice.
they finish up
You do
pretty
great
quickly.
work. You do really nice work.
Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
I really appreciate that.
You're awesome.
Those are my 5 works in progress, all cowls. 2 for May, 3 for me. So I think I must do another one for May, but that we'll talk about later on.
Good.
So those are my works in progress, and next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Today's adventure took us to Alden, Michigan and Mackinaw, Michigan. And we went to visit the Warm Fuzzy yarn store on the way. That was in Alden.
Right.
But before we begin talking about the yarn store, we'll talk about a little bit about our adventure. I'll show you on the map where it is. We went from Cadillac, drove all the way up, As you can see, there's north there, there's Traverse City. Past Traverse City, and then there's that lake, Torch Lake. And just at the northeast corner of Torch Lake is Alden. So we were there. We didn't stay overnight there or anything like that. And then we spent some time there, had the coffee, and then we drove quite a drive right up towards Mackinaw Island. A little bit of a drive there. And we got to Mackinaw Island, which is right up there, the tip of Michigan, near Lake Michigan. As you can see, it was quite the adventure and traveling, but the scenery was beautiful. We saw a lot of this on the way. The roads were awesome, beautiful scenery. Alden is such a great little place. Population is about 125. I'm sure they get a lot of people there in the summer. It looks like a summer destination place. As you can see, you down by the water, you're kind of cold.
It was freezing.
By that. But I'm sure the Lake District there gets very populated in the summer time. We had a beautiful little coffee shop there.
Yeah, it's called the Muffin Tin. And we had an oatmeal chocolate chip cookie.
It was lovely.
And you said the coffee was
great.
Yeah.
It was so clean. We used the washroom. I think we had to go outside for the washroom or something like that. Go around back or whatever it was. But and then the yarn store was beautiful, as you can see from the photos. So Alden was a great little stop off on our way up to Mackinaw. And of course we went to Mackinaw Island, which was absolutely one of my favorite places to go to in Michigan. We'd been there before in the summer. It was a little cooler this time when we were there. We had winter, I think our kind of semi-winter coats on. Now the population in Mackinaw Island is only 492 people. I think they had at one point more horses in Mackinaw Island than they do people. Wow. Yeah, no, because it's really hard to get back and forth in the winter with the freezing over, I'm sure.
Right,
or whatever.
absolutely. Yeah.
Now they do hire a lot of seasonal workers, like hundreds and hundreds, because it's such a touristy destination in the summer.
Right.
It was in the 18th century. Mackinaw was a trading destination, so there's a lot of French Canadians there.
Okay, that
so
makes sense.
there's two spellings, and I always thought I'm not the best of spellers, and I always thought, am I spelling this right and wrong? But back in the 18th century with the French Canadians, they would pronounce it Mackinaw, but they pronounced it Mackinaw, but they spelled it like Mackinac, like with a C on the end. Right. And then after the War of 1812, it was more Anglo-Americans that came, and they just spelled it like it sounded. But the bridges in the straits are still spelled with the C at the end, the French way. Okay. And the rest of us spell it with the W, Mackinaw. Okay. But it's pronounced Mackinaw. Okay. You know, a lot of Mackinaw Island is devoted to state park and national forest. So, and then also there's a local of ordinance passed in 1898 that prohibits vehicles being used in the island. So there are no cars, or like it's mostly horse and buggy, but there are service vehicles. Okay, right. Vehicles that have to bring in, you know, the food for the restaurants and service vehicles and ambulances and that type of thing. Okay, that makes sense. Golf carts can be there, and snowmobiles can be there. And horses, of course. But yeah, so, but it makes it really nice. When we were there in the summer, did we not love that place?
Oh, it was beautiful.
We biked around the whole place. We rented these bikes, and and I think it only took us an hour. It wasn't very far. Could be for beginner cyclists. It's not like a big cycling thing, but we were hurting maybe the next day. And the last time we took the boat over, the waves were like, I don't want to exaggerate, but they felt like 12-foot waves, and the boat was like this. And Colleen thought, you know, the third time it feels like you're going to go backwards.
Yeah, it did.
But it was quite the weather that time we went, but very well worth it. But this time there was no waves. It was, no waves, yeah. It was pretty calm.
It was cool,
but calm.
Yeah.
Now you can't talk about Mackinaw Island without talking about the Grand Hotel. Oh my goodness. If you've never seen the Grand Hotel, it is totally spectacular. Isn't it?
It's beautiful.
The first time I saw it was so amazing. And the porch is one of the longest porches they say in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. And we were on the porch. Now I think they charge $10 to get even on the porch. Okay. Yeah. But when we were there, they didn't charge us $10. Now, to stay there, we would have stayed there back in the day, but it was even expensive back. I think we were back there 8 years ago in the summer.
Something like that.
But it was too expensive, but we thought we'll splurge and we'll have lunch or brunch.
Yeah.
And I think, and if my memory is correct, you can correct me on this, but I think we spent $50 each on lunch.
Yeah, we did. And
Was
it
that
was a
about
big,
that?
I think it was, I think you're right about it being a brunch, because there was a long buffet and all this kind of food that you could have, but
Because I thought I think I remember thinking I can't eat $50 worth of food here,
we
but
can't.
but the atmosphere was well worth the 50.
It was,
50.
we knew dinner would be much
Right.
more, so we just decided brunch was the way to go.
But it's a hotel. It was built in the 19th century, and it was sold in 2019 to a family. A family had it in their family for 9 decades, and then they sold it.
Oh, wow, okay.
But there's I can't remember the name of the designer. Varney's the designer's name, and they designed it, the decor, to look like the 19th century. And
Okay.
every room has a little bit of thing that's different about it.
Oh, that's really neat.
But the rooms now, I think I don't have my book. I'm gonna go get my book, and I'm gonna tell you how much
Okay.
things are. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, but I did want to tell you the prices of these rooms. The rooms are done in categories. So there's category 1, 2, and 3. $395 per person a night. So if the two of us wanted to be there, it would be
A lot of money.
yeah, a lot of money. That's through the week. But the weekends get up to be about $1,000 per person a night. So that's just for category 1, 2, and 3. Then they
Okay.
have special rooms that are named after first ladies. So they have like the room that's called the Jacqueline Kennedy room. They have the Betty Ford room. They have the Rosalind Carter room. They have the Nancy Reagan, Barbara Bush
Oh,
room.
wow. Okay.
So those then go up in price. Now there is a little cottage also that's off to the side. Now, these all look over the Mackinaw Bridge. So
Right, right.
the little cottage, I believe, is $27,000 per week. Now, if you want to stay there for a month, if you want to get me a present, it's $96,000 a month.
Okay.
Just
I
in
need- I
case
need
you were
to-
looking for something
I need to
for
get
me.
out of retirement. I better start doing lots of knitting and selling it. I don't know what I'm going to do.
But being in the Grand Hotel, I just love it. Like, I just love the place. It was
is
awesome. Now, there was a movie made there in 1980, and it's called something in time.
Somewhere in Time.
Somewhere in Time, and then Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour
Yes.
were in this movie because we bought the movie. And when we saw the movie, actually the decor looked similar, didn't it?
Exactly. They're really careful about maintaining it.
Yeah.
And keeping things the same.
So if you do want to see inside the hotel, then I would get that movie, 1980, Somewhere in Time.
Right.
And it wasn't a bad movie from what I
No,
remember.
not at all.
Also, people that have stayed there are Mark Twain, lots of presidents. Who else has stayed there? Mark Twain, Thomas Edison has stayed in that hotel. As you can see from the pictures, it's just gorgeous. There's some, we took the horse and buggy around the island.
Exactly.
Also.
So we did when it was warmer, we did the cycling around, but this
Right.
time we took the tour on the horses, and it is
Right.
worth the money to do that. This time we needed a few little blankets to keep us warm
Right.
going around, but it was nice. And every time you get a different driver, you find out a few more different facts, and you get to see all kinds of things. So
Yeah, it's just one of my favorite trips. I've
was
been there
great.
twice, and I would definitely go back, and I would recommend it. A great place to go and visit. It's got a great atmosphere, and it's very touristy. Like even the downtown, you can rent bikes easily. You can. There's a lot of. Where they make what do you call that, fudge? A lot of
Yeah.
fudge stores. We had a really nice meal there.
Mm-hmm.
Great place to walk. Just a really nice atmosphere
It
there,
is
isn't
really
it?
good, yeah.
It was a wonderful trip. So
there we go.
there you go, Mackinaw Island, Michigan.
All right. So I'm going to talk about the yarn store. There wasn't a yarn store in Mackinaw, but that's okay because we did go to one on the way. And so that was called the Warm Fuzzy. So that's the name of it. We were speaking with Lita, and the little puppy you will have seen, his name is Sadie. So we were told it was kind of more of a seasonal place. So during the colder months, sometimes it's closed down. Sometimes they'll open it twice a week just for people to come in and sit and knit. it's one of those things that I would call and find out when it's open. But it is definitely worth seeing. They have all different kinds of yarns, so I'm just going to read you out a few. They had something called Jody Long, which I've never heard of. Berroco, Sirdar, Lang, Wonderland Yarns, Mirasol, Cascade, Kobasi, United, which is a Queensland collection ones, Oricania yarns. So there was lots of things to see. They had lots of samples. There was one that you really, really liked, and it was a cowl, and I'm thinking maybe I could make that cowl with some different yarn. So maybe that'll be something for you. But
I remember the lady being nice in there.
She was sweet because she isn't the owner. The owner had surgery or something and was off, and she was just taking care of it. But she was really helpful.
I know the dog was there. Do you remember the dog's name?
The dog was Sadie.
Oh, did you say that already?
I did, but that's okay.
Oh,
She pretends to listen.
I must have been in La La Land.
That's okay. So
Sadie the dog, yes. Like,
Sadie the dog and Cutie Pie.
you know what I was thinking about was the rocks. When you were talking about Sadie the dog, I was thinking the rocks there that are painted. Did you see them? They look real, didn't they?
I know.
Thought, oh, there's dogs and cats.
I thought, oh no, but there really is a puppy, and it really is Sadie.
Sadie was real.
Exactly. So it's a cute little store. Lots of samples. As I said, if you're heading through, definitely in the summer it'll be open for you. If it's a little bit later on, we were there in October. Just call ahead, make sure it's open, but it's worth a stop. Mm-hmm. And the little village is so cute.
Oh, it's lovely. It looks clean and well taken care of and spotless.
Exactly. And
that's down by the lake there.
Yeah. And the coffee shop that we went to would have been a nice thing to sit outside if it was warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just glad. I said to May, I don't drink coffee, but I really would like to have one because
your hands were cold.
It was freezing. I thought if I held on to her coffee, it'd be iced coffee pretty quick.
But going in the fall was a great time too because you got to see the leaves
so
the color, and the dry was beautiful. Yeah. So I mean, in the summer it would be beautiful too.
Exactly.
It's all beautiful in northern Michigan. I just love Michigan. It's just a great place.
Exactly. So that's our adventure, and next we're going to talk about souvenirs. I only have one souvenir from this little part of our adventure.
And you got this in Alden?
I got this in Alden from the Warm Fuzzy. I like that name. And it is, the reason why I got this was because it is Millefiori Light by Berroco.
Beautiful colors. I know. We can see that in there. But...
If they'd had two, I would have bought two, but they only had one. So because we were on the shore of Torch Lake, and because they were talking about the colors and it almost looks like a rainbow of the lake, I thought this is perfect. It's a great way to remember it. I'm that memory person. It's a great way to remember us stopping in Alden. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do, I found this. Once again, it's a cowl pattern. And I could make one of these for you, not with this, but I could make one for you, which I may do. It's called the Aurora Polaris Cowl by Faking Sanity Designs, Lachance.
Any cashmere in it?
I do not believe so.
Then it's not good enough.
But I love this pattern because it is just working with the color work. And this will make the color work, and then I'll just use a black, and then it will show off, and I think it will look really, really nice.
That'll be great.
Yes, I'm really, really excited. So that was my souvenir. And May, we have been to Mackinaw and bought souvenirs before.
We did. So we didn't really buy anything in Mackinaw because it was more of a quick
we were all about the adventure
piece, we were all about the adventure piece and getting there and showing you some recent photos.
Yeah.
But I think I can stir up some photos of you and I with our Mackinaw sweatshirts that we bought back in the day.
Because the first time we were there, it was
a beautiful summer day. The
right.
weather was beautiful. And we were there for a few days because we stayed on Mackinaw City.
Right. Exactly.
And we stayed there looking over the water.
Right.
And then we would just take the boat back to Mackinaw Island.
I think we went over, you know what I think happened? I think we went over early in the morning. And it was cold.
And there's a little breeze, and then with the waves being that big, it would make sense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so we had to buy these sweaters. We
were freezing.
Anyway, so we had souvenirs from there, but it was a great place.
Exactly, we absolutely love it. That's our adventure to Alden and to Mackinaw. We had a great time.
Yes, we did.
And we love doing these things for you. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up. comment down below. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see, and subscribe, because we really would like to continue doing this for you, and it's a lot of fun.
It is.
So until next time.
You take care.